Are your joints holding you back? How about those knees? Difficult going up or down the stairs lately? Or that hip or lower back? Stiff in the morning? Or my fellow golfers out there, how's that shoulder? Sore at night, keeping you off the links? Or maybe you used to enjoy hand sewing or knitting, but you can't anymore. Do any of these describe you or someone you know? Perhaps your aches and stiffness even ease up from time to time, so you ignore them. But oh, they always come back. Or maybe you're further down the road and you've just given up, accepted that you can't do most of the active things you used to enjoy, like dancing, gardening, hiking, or playing tennis. Given up on your dreams of travel and adventure because you fear you won't be able to get around. Okay, now, wait, let me do this in a TV announcer voice. Imagine life without joint aches and pains holding you back. Just take this magic pill, or rub on this cream, or wear this, and overnight you'll be transformed into Olympian. Sorry, folks, it doesn't work that way. No joints transform instantly like that. And superhero transformations are best left to Hollywood. Yes, there are some ways to get temporary relief, but hours later or the next day, the aches and stiffness are back. These products are not about actually improving your joint health, and in some cases, they may even be making it worse. You need a solution that provides more than just temporary relief, something that is going to help you lead an active, mobile, relatively ache-free life into your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, 80s, even beyond. And I'm here to tell you that for most of us, I believe this is possible. I see it every day, and it's not that hard, but it does take a comprehensive approach to maintain healthy joints as you age. And I'll show you exactly how to do it today. But before we do that, it's important to understand just what's going on inside you, why your joints ache, and why most likely those aches are not going away unless you do something about it. Okay, first, understand that most people's joints really start to fall apart in their 50s, and it gets worse from there. But yet, there are others who remain active and vibrant as they age, even into their 80s. So just how are they different? Well, I'll explain in this video. And also, why, despite thousands of joint products out there to choose from, joint health in this country is getting worse, not better. I'll explain how you've been misled, given misinformation when it comes to your joints, marketing messages that lead you to believe joint health is just an inflammatory issue, when there are plenty of cultures that consume high levels of omega-3s in their diet, yet they still have some of the worst joints as they age. Nor is joint health about consuming tubs of collagen powder. Show me the studies where that promotes long or even short-term joint health. They can't. Oh, and don't even get me started on CBD. So what works when it comes to improving joint health? What has been clinically shown to improve, to help soothe and rejuvenate those aching joints once and for all? Well, that's what today's video is about, because we now know what it takes for real, noticeable improvement. I'll tell you about the latest discoveries in joint health, including a new, powerful patented joint health ingredient from Europe that you've probably never heard of, because in the US, while we're chasing overhyped fad products like hemp oil and CBD or other temporary fixes, some of the real research, some of the real breakthroughs in joint health have been coming out of Norway. Yes, that's right, Norway. This little country of athletic, active people way up here. You'll learn why their simple but comprehensive Norwegian solution to joint health, called joint nutrition, is changing the way people live and age in Europe and throughout the world. So stick with me for just a couple minutes and I'll show you how easy it is to get your life back too. Okay, let's talk about why today's joint supplements, the ones you're probably taking right now, simply cannot live up to their promises. Now, what they're selling is not necessarily bad, though many popular joint ingredients like glucosamine and chondroitin and others were found to be ineffective in big independent clinical studies. They don't work because they provide an incomplete solution. They can't get the job done because they're mainly designed to provide temporary relief, and most don't even do that well, while doing little to improve the overall health of the joint itself, the actual cause of your aches and stiffness in the first place. Let me show you what's most likely going on in your joints right now with the help of my little friend here. Researchers discovered that for your joints to be healthy as you age, they need specific joint nourishment that targets not just one or two, but all three areas of joint health. The first is inflammation support, which provides the quickest relief and helps with stiffness. This is important because the sooner you get an increased range of motion and activity, the better. But lasting relief and long-term joint health are what come from the other two areas of support. Your joints need nutrients that also effectively target the health of your joint cartilage and connective tissue here. And a third area, which almost all joint supplements ignore, lubrication support in the middle here. Now, if you haven't heard about joint lubrication, it has to do with sacs of fluid here called synovial fluid, located between your joints. This important fluid cushions the ends of the bones and reduces friction when you move. But as you age, synovial fluid can start to break down and thin. Think about it like this. Just like a ball bearing will seize up without oil, so will joints without lubrication. And that's when you eventually get to bone-on-bone grinding. I'll tell you exactly what you need in a joint supplement to support your synovial fluid later in this video. So what the Norwegians discovered about maintaining healthy joints is that you must adequately satisfy all three categories of joint support: inflammation support, cartilage support, and lubrication support, satisfying each with the specific joint nutrients. That's the solution. But it was not easy. It took the synergy of 9 well-studied joint health ingredients all working together. They call the product joint food because it provides complete joint nutrition naturally. To demonstrate why this approach is so different than other joint supplements, I'm going to show you the 9 natural ingredients in their whole food state that go into joint food. The first category is inflammation support. It's first because getting some fast relief from the discomforts so you can get active and moving again as quickly as possible is very important. You see, inflammation primarily attacks this connective tissue area. When the connective tissue is persistently inflamed, things stiffen up, and that's when the health of the joint really starts to deteriorate. Your connective tissue functions not only as mechanical support for other tissues, but also as an avenue for communication throughout the whole joint. So the bottom line, when inflammation occurs and it's not addressed with the nutrients like those found in joint food, the whole joint can deteriorate quickly, leading to more inflammation, which leads to more discomfort and stiffness, which leads to more inflammation, and it becomes this vicious cycle of inflammation and deterioration. Joint food can help break that cycle. Now, what's most unique about joint food is that it does this in a way that no other supplement can. And it's the patented ingredient in joint food that I mentioned earlier, called Tamasteen, that provides most of the bioactive magic. In this first tray, we have 3 ingredients that make up Tamasteen. They're all from Southeast Asia and are all staples in the diet there. Each are used in traditional Ayurvedic medicine to promote a healthy inflammatory response in the body. They each do it in different ways, yet they're synergistic, meaning that each supports the other. That's why the Norwegians combined them, the result of years of research. Let me show you why this is different and why it works better. Check this out. As you can see from this chart, the 3 ingredients in Tamasteen are turmeric, this bright colored Indian spice here, which maybe you've heard of or maybe even tried, and then these other 2 ingredients, which you probably haven't heard of, tamarind seeds and mangosteen fruit. And these combine to dramatically change how your joints respond. This chart will help explain. You see, when it comes to providing both quick, short-term relief and lasting joint relief, you need to satisfy what medical researchers call the 3 OXs, the 3 pathways to healthier joints: the COX pathway, the LOX pathway, and the antioxidant pathway. Now stay with me on this. Most over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen or aspirin and other NSAIDs focus only on the COX pathway, which means they're very fast-acting, but they do it in an unnatural, imbalanced way, wiping out other healing pathways in the body at the same time. This is why they can have such serious side effects and are never recommended for long-term joint health management. Tamasteen, on the other hand, also provides fast-acting COX pathway relief, but it does it naturally with turmeric. However, the downside of the fast-acting COX pathway ingredients is that they only last a few hours. Omega-3 oils like fish, green-lipped mussel oil, or krill oil, they also primarily target this pathway, which is why these ingredients alone are not the solution. Yes, they offer some fast relief, but alone, they're incomplete. What really drives Tamasteen and the relief it provides is this new ingredient extracted from tamarind seeds. This works on the slower acting LOX pathway in the body. This pathway takes longer for you to initially feel in your joints, but the difference is its benefits stay with you much longer. Weeks of support, not hours like COX pathway products. And tamarind seeds are really amazing in their own right, with other tremendous health benefits for your body. You're going to be hearing a lot about these seeds in the coming years. They're an incredible discovery. Here's the backstory on tamarind. It's extremely popular in Indian cuisine, where it's added to soups and other dishes. But it's the tamarind seeds themselves that provide the incredible health benefits for your joints. And this has been demonstrated in multiple studies. These seeds are a popular snack in rural India, where the people suffer from far less joint health issues as they age. And then the third ingredient in Tamasteen is mangosteen. This beautiful fruit with a unique taste adds antioxidant support. What's so special about mangosteen? Well, it's true that turmeric and tamarind are antioxidant powerhouses in their own right, but mangosteen has a special group of antioxidant compounds called xanthones with unique healing properties, and they really rev up the healing ability of Tamasteen. So as I mentioned earlier, this trio of ingredients was so effective at relieving joint discomforts that it was awarded a US patent. In clinical trials, it was shown to do some pretty amazing stuff. You can check this all out on the website by clicking on the link below, but here are the highlights. In an 8-week comprehensive study, remarkably, users began to see significant, noticeable improvements in joint comfort and flexibility in just the first 5 days. And there were specific improvements in so many things. Improved flexibility, less joint discomfort and stiffness, less difficulty walking and descending stairs, I can go on, but understand that all these benefits just kept improving and building over time. In fact, there was an over 60% reduction in overall joint discomfort and an over 50% improvement in joint flexibility. Tamasteen was so powerful at addressing joint aches and stiffness that it was shown to be 3 to 9 times more effective than placebo, depending on what was being measured. Those are very compelling results, and they're validated every day by joint food users around the world. But joint food didn't stop with just Tamasteen. As you can see, they included 2 additional proven natural inflammation modulators. On this plate, I've got pineapple, and then here I've got this mystery branch. From pineapple comes a powerful natural enzyme called bromelain. And any doctor out there watching will recognize bromelain because it's used post-surgery to reduce swelling and speed recoveries. And it's really great for joint sufferers. Now, this mystery twig here is from a tree called Boswellia serrata. From the resin of this tree is another natural, well-known and well-studied inflammation support ingredient called Boswellia. But most people know it by its more common name, frankincense. Looks like the 3 wise men were pretty wise after all. So, all this to help break the cycle of unhealthy inflammation. Okay, so let's see what joint food has to help support your precious cartilage, the second category of joint support. Joint food uses multiple ingredients and nutrients to support cartilage, mainly by enhancing collagen production. Why collagen? Because you can't have healthy joints without it. It is literally the main building block of all of this. The cartilage, the ligaments, the tendons, even the connective tissue around the joint, the part that gets inflamed if not kept healthy. Now keep in mind, there are different types of collagen. Some types of collagen are more beneficial for the skin or muscle, and some are better for the joints. The type of collagen that's best for joints is called type 2. And the best source of that is derived from chicken, actually from the sternum. So joint food includes that. Plus, to further support collagen production, they've added a well-studied ingredient called methylsulfonylmethane, or MSM for short. It's been clinically shown to help slow the breakdown of cartilage. MSM is found naturally in healthy greens and in certain fruits like apples and raspberries. These are all particularly rich in MSM. Basically, it's an essential nutrient for collagen and cartilage health, but it's really hard to get enough MSM through diet alone. And lastly, they include another natural ingredient that comes directly from one of my favorite fruits, acerola cherries, jam-packed with vitamin C. Why vitamin C? Because it's an essential vitamin for collagen formation. But the vitamin C in joint food is very different from what you find in most supplements. You see, what most people don't know is almost all vitamin C in supplements is something called ascorbic acid, and it's 100% synthetic. What's worse, most ascorbic acid is made from genetically modified or GMO corn, which I like to avoid. Joint Foods vitamin C, however, is 100% natural because it comes directly from delicious acerola cherries. This means it's better absorbed and easier for the body to utilize. And I recommend people stay away from GMOs whenever possible. Okay, so this leaves us with the last joint health category, the one we don't hear much about, the one that is severely lacking in most joint food supplements. That's joint lubrication, support for that precious synovial fluid. Now, joint food starts with one of the best natural lubricating ingredients out there, this right here. This fatty stuff, it's a unique fatty acid called cetyl myristoyl, or CMO for short, nicknamed the WD-40 of joint mobility. And lastly, they added something called hyaluronic acid, or HA for short. You may have seen HA promoted to help moisturize and lubricate your skin, but it's even more important and effective for your joints. HA is literally the main component of synovial fluid, and it's a key joint nutrient. In fact, when joint issues get really bad, doctors often inject hyaluronic acid directly into the joint to stimulate synovial production. But we don't want it to get to that point, so that's why I have this nice bowl of bone broth here, a rich source of natural HA to represent the HA in joint food. So that's it. The 9 ingredients, complete support for your joints, real joint nourishment, the first of its kind, providing everything you need in a joint support supplement for quick relief, yes, but also lasting relief, and with healing support, keeping your joints flexible and lubricated. Well, I'm just about out of time for today. I hope you found this video helpful. But you know, watching a little video and taking action are 2 different things. So if you're ready to start living a life without sore, stiff, aching joints, preventing you from enjoying the things you love, then click on the link below. There you'll find more information on joint food and a limited time special offer to get you started, where in addition to joint food, you'll also get this easy to follow joint mobility and flexibility program with proven simple exercises, stretches, and tips that you can try at home. The perfect complement to joint food. Thanks again for watching my video on joint health. I'm Dr. Keller Wortham, and I will see you again very soon.